What's up, Hollywood stars? Welcome back to another video. So this time around we are going to be doing a natural glam. So this is the glam that I came up with. I feel like it's a very pretty soft glam, I guess. So if you want to see how I achieve this makeup look, definitely keep watching because I actually go through every single step from start to finish, from the eyes to the face to the lips, everything. So if you want to see how I achieve this, definitely keep watching, and as always, don't forget to shine bright because it's slow Hollywood time. Hello Hollywood stars. So today we're gonna do a full glam, start to finish, eyes, face, lips, everything. So the palette we're gonna be using today is gonna be the Nudie Patootie by Laura Lee Los Angeles. I have not used this palette in a hot minute, so this is what it looks like, and I just figured I haven't used it in a while, let's just play around with it. It's a very pretty like neutral palette, so here are the shades. So I figured let's do a full glam with this one. I'm just gonna start by adding a little bit of chapstick to my lips because they've been a little bit chapped. So the first step that I'm gonna do is I'm going to work on the brows. I'm gonna be using this Great Lash by Maybelline, and this is just a clear brow gel. I've really been loving this one. So this is the one we're gonna be using today. I'm gonna do a spoolie first, just to kind of comb the brows up a tiny bit. And you guys, I did get my brows laminated. I laminated them. That's such a tongue twister. I laminated them myself. So I'll link the video up here in a card and also down below in case you guys want to check it out, because oh my god, I am obsessed with my brows ever since I laminated them. Like, I feel like they just look so good just with clear brow gel. Like, it's insane. So I kind of like to brush them up and then I just kind of comb them a little bit downward. And look at that brow, like that's just brow gel, like amazing, right? Today for the eyes, I'm just going to use my Tarte Shape Tape. This is in Light Sand, and I'm going to be using this as my base for the eyeshadow. So I like to get a little bit in the back of my hand like this. And then I'm going to use this tiny Morphe N421 brush just to kind of carve out the brow and add this all over the lid. Basically all over. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I did this eye off camera, so this is how the glam is gonna look. So we're gonna do the other eye right now, that way you guys can follow along, and then also we saved a little bit of time by doing that one off camera. So I'm just going to make sure there's no creases here in my concealer. So the first one we're gonna dig into is gonna be this streaking eyeshadow right here. This is a really beautiful like pale brown, just a perfect transition for your crease. So I just like to go in circular motions, that way you kind of start to warm up the eye. Next I'm going to go into the Reveal shade, which is just a tad bit darker than that one. So I'm going to dip in there, and then we're just going to start to warm up this outer corner right here and start to drag it inwards. So the majority of the product is being concentrated in this outer corner, and then whatever's left over you bring inwards. So just like that. I'm going to grab a little bit more and just kind of start to build up the shade a bit. And I'm also going to start to add a little bit here into this outer corner of the lid, just so everything can start to flow and give me that smokiness I want. Okay, so this is how it should be looking. It's like a super easy eyeshadow look, but you're gonna look so good. So next I'm gonna take a small little brush like this, it's just a flat one, and I'm gonna go into the Spark color. Oh, Stark actually. This one's super creamy, and I'm going to add this to the very inner corner of the lid, and I'm gonna sort of create the illusion of a cut crease, kind of like a half cut crease. Usually you're able to do this really well with shimmers. So this is a really nice technique that I like to use. I'm gonna go into Uncover now, which is a little bit more of a grayish tone, but it's still a very beautiful shade. I'm using the same brush, and I'm gonna be adding this right next to that first shade that we put on. So right next to it. Okay, so this is kind of how the eye's looking. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go into this exposed shade. So again, it's just slightly darker than the last one that we used. And we're kind of doing like an ombre effect on the eye to really give us that smokiness that we want. So same brush, I'm gonna apply it right next to that last shade we used. And this is basically gonna be in the very outer corner, whatever's left over. Now we're gonna go into Nakey Nakey, which is the darkest shade in this palette. It looks a little bit like, I guess kind of like mauve-y on camera, but in person it looks more of like a true brown. So I'm taking this brush, which is the JS6, just like a blending brush, and I'm gonna start to concentrate this in the very outer V. I'm using more packing motions to give me the most color payoff. Once I have the color on there, then you're gonna wanna use a little bit of circular motions and just start to ever so slightly drag it up and inward. For liner today, we're gonna use MAC's Boot Black liner. I love this liquid liner because it's very, very dark and it's also matte, so it looks amazing. So this is what we're gonna be using. And we're just gonna do all the way here to the outer corner. We're not gonna be doing a wing or anything like that, just to give us a little bit more smokiness. Okay, so this is how it should be looking. So we didn't go all the way out here as a wing, we just left it right there. So now I'm going to take my brush one more time, and I'm going to dig into the darkest shade, which is Nakey Nakey up here. And with this one, we're just going to intensify the darkness and kind of overlap with the liner at the very outer corner, so it looks very, very flawless and very smoked out. And notice too that I'm also kind of dragging this color a little bit inwards, just so that the liner doesn't look super harsh. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to use a little bit of my telescopic mascara just to coat the lashes a bit, and then we're going to add some lashes. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the brow bone, so that's going to be this dark shade right here. And we're just going to grab a bit and apply it right up here into the highest point of our brow bone. We're going to be using the Infallible eyeliner. This is just in black for the waterline. We're also going to tie line up here. I'm going to be taking this really flat brush. I'm going to go into the Nakey Nakey one more time, which is the darkest shade, and I'm really going to stamp it down here right at the bottom of the liner. And then don't worry about the blending right now, we just want the intensity of that color first, so just stamping will give you the most intensity. I'm going to take this really small brush to blend out the bottom lash line, and we're going to go into the streaking and a little bit of the reveal, so these two shades right here. And I like to just go in circular motions right down here just to really help smooth out the lower lash line, make sure it doesn't look harsh. And then I'm just taking the first brush we used, nice and fluffy, and we're just going to blend out the edges. This has no additional product, we're just using what's on the eyes. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the other lash. These lashes are the Batty Bee lashes in style Instaho. So I will be right back. I have both lashes on, so now let's move on to the face. So I did get a little wet wipe just to make sure I took any of the excess that fell off. Sometimes it looks like you don't really have a lot that falls out, but once you look at this napkin, it's just like, whoa. So be sure to remove any fallout. So for the primer today, we're going to use this Milk Hydro Primer. I love this one because it's very, very sticky, and it really helps my base adhere to my skin and it lasts all day. So I'm just going to apply this all over. For foundation today, we're going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, and I love this one, and this is in the shade 370 Bronze Beige. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this guy. I really like the applicator on this foundation, by the way. It's like really cool. It's like a little spatula. Okay, so for concealer, again, we're gonna go back into our Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Light Sand. I like to bring it onto the sides of the nose as well. That way it kind of helps to slim it down. The bridge of the nose, a little bit right here on the outer corner of the eye. And then I'm going to do just a tiny bit of here, here, and here. Go into my Huda powder to set everything. I'm just gonna actually set the under eyes with this and the sides of the nose. And I'm also going to set basically the entire nose, and then anywhere else that we added concealer. For the rest of the face, I'm using MAC Studio Fix powder in shade C3.5. I'm using this Kabuki brush by Smashbox, which I love this brush because it fits right into every single portion of my face. So I love this one. And we're just going to set the rest of the face wherever we didn't add the Huda powder. Okay, so I do want to come back to the eyes really quick because we did lose a little bit of the color down here, which is the brown. So I'm going to go back into Reveal and Sparkling, and we're just going to fix that really quick. Go into the Streaking shade one more time, just that one, with a clean brush, just to really help diffuse any harsh edges. So for bronzer today, we're going to use this Morphe bronzer body and face, and this is called Mastermind. I love this one. I've used it only once. I just got it and I feel like it works really good, you guys. So I'm going to use that for bronzing today, and I usually like to just use an angled brush for this. I'm going to take my bronzer really quick, and I'm going to just take this little brush and just kind of add some right here because I feel like I always miss this spot, and this spot is so important for whenever you want your nose to look a little bit more chiseled. It just makes it look so much better. I'm going to go into my Studio Fix powder. This is a lot lighter. This is NC15, and I love using this one just to give me a little bit extra brightness under here. So I'm just gonna do a tiny bit and kind of drag it out here as well to kind of lift everything. So it just looks a little bit more lifted. Okay, so for blush, we're going to use this little duo right here. So this is the Patrick Star Realness collection, but these two blushes are available. So it comes with Peaches and Gingerly, and today we're just going to do Peaches. I've been obsessed with this blush lately. I feel like it looks so pretty. So we're just going to add this to the cheeks. And then whatever's left over, I kind of want to bring it kind of right under the eye. I saw somebody say that. I feel like it could have been like maybe like Kylie or Ariel or somebody said to do that, and I've been doing that, and I feel like it really helps the blush kind of just flow with your rest of the face, and it doesn't look like it's just stamped on there. So I really enjoy doing that. But you have to make sure you do it after you initially apply it, because it's just whatever is left over. You don't want to put everything up there. And then also kind of here to the nose. I'm going to use the Anastasia Times Amrezy highlight. This is a staple in anyone's collection. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply this to the high points of my cheekbones. It's just perfect for a nice glam look. And then I'm going to add a little bit here. And then using my finger, I'm going to do a little bit on the nose. I do kind of want to bake a little bit, so I'm going to go back into my Huda powder. You guys, I have tried so many powders, and I feel like the Huda is like the best one, like not even going to lie. I love this one. Okay, so for the inner corner, I'm going to go back into the Stark shade, and we're just going to apply that there. It's such a pretty shade. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're almost done, you guys. I'm going to go into this MAC Extended Play Giga Black Mascara. This is hands down one of the best mascaras for your lower lash line. I just been loving this mascara, and I think I mentioned it before, but my friend Caesar recommended this for the lower lash line, and oh my god, it's been amazing. Ever since I started using it, I feel like I just don't use anything else down there, and I've seen so many makeup artists on Instagram using this that I never even noticed. So this is a great mascara for the lower lashes. It's also very, very tiny and skinny, so that's why it works so well. I'm probably going to do this off camera because I need to be really close to the mirror, but I will be right back. Okay, you guys, so I have the lower lash line done. So you guys can see it just makes your lashes look so bomb. So I don't think I'm even going to add anything else to the brows because I feel like I'm really liking them just with the clear brow gel. I'm telling you guys, a lamination is bomb. So I'm going to go ahead and just dust this bake off. I'm going to be using MAC Strip Down Lip Liner. I love this one. I love rounding out my Cupid's bow. I feel like it just makes you look so like kissable, so puckery. I don't know, I just love it. Okay. So for the actual lipstick, I feel like I have so many nude colors now, like I don't even know what to do anymore. But I think I kind of want to use, let's see, I kind of want to do the macadamia one. So the macadamia one, I mentioned it in one of my Ulta hauls, or I think it was my quarantine haul. But this is such a beautiful shade. This is by L'Oreal. So this is a tube, and it's so freaking like bomb. It's so light. I love it. Let me just wipe this off. Okay. Look how beautiful that is. I kind of want to leave it like this without a gloss. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like this. So I'm going to use a little bit of this guy, the Fix Plus, and this is a coconut. I love this smell. It smells so good. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed this natural glam. I feel like it came out so good. So leave me a comment down below if you want to try this glam out. I feel like this is like a universal glam for anything. For a party, for a girls' night out, for a slumber party, for just anything, honestly. So yeah, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.